Hello and welcome back everyone, I'm Galatunia and today I'm drawing watercolors for the first time. I've been following several watercolor artists for a very long time and every time I watch a piece of their content, especially their travel vlogs where they do urban sketching, I get jealous. That is the kind of life I want to have. I've been putting it off because I am terrified and I keep making excuses for myself. My workspace is too small. This is literally my computer desk. So as you can imagine, a big full cup of water, or 2 cups of water as most painters suggest, terrifies me. The paints are expensive, and for whatever reason, my spoony little brain doesn't jive with having to try and take care of various paintbrushes. But not today. The bubble pops today. So I have created my own little mini travel palette to use here at home in my tiny little space. And look at how tiny everything is! Ah! This cute little palette is my favorite thing. I probably could have gotten a little bit bigger, but I love that this is so small that if I really wanted to, I can just stick it in my pocket. And as you can see, I went ahead and poured my paints into my pans because they needed a couple of days to dry. And look at how small these tubes are! I shouldn't take so much pleasure in how cute tiny little art supplies, but I am. It's funny because when you go shopping online, you read 5 milliliters, and logically you know that's not a lot of paint, but look at the, like, here's my little transmitter that I use for recording. And there's the tube of paint. So yeah, my weapons for today are going to be 4 Daniel Smith watercolor paints. And the reason I'm keeping myself to 4 is because when I tried gouache, I got overwhelmed with all the color options and I found I was really limiting myself. So this time, I'm actually following the advice of pretty much every art community I've ever seen, and I'm starting with just a handful of higher quality paints. And because a jar of water at my computer desk gives me so much anxiety, I'm also going to be using some water brushes. They're already filled. Tested them in the bathroom, there's no leaks, thankfully. I don't know if I'm actually going to need this one. Try not to. Because I know from my experience with markers that just using the white of the paper for white is the easier route to go. But I do like this pen, so I'm going to have it just in case. Spray bottle. And then finally, paper. Now, every single guide I could look up, no matter whether it was YouTube or Reddit, everyone says that the paper makes the art. You can use whatever paints you want, but you gotta have paper. I'm going to test that today. So this is an Etch-a sketchbook. It is 100% cotton paper. I wanna see if that really is different from this paper that I've been using to test out various water-based supplies on. I haven't even bothered to remove the label. I bought this last year in a 3-pack for 20-something bucks. But this is cellulose paper, and you can see, and I've been using this book for just testing out different art supplies, and I was getting frustrated, and I'm wondering, because this is also 300 GSM. Both papers are 300 GSM, but this paper is a cellulose paper. So my plan of attack for today is going to be relatively simple. I'm first going to do some color swatches on both this paper and the cotton paper to feel for myself what the difference is. And then after that, I'm just going to be doing a whole lot of paintings while trying to teach myself color mixing and see how much I can actually do with just the 4 colors that I got. Hopefully contain the mess. So I need... Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's like barely wet. Okay. It's pretty wet. Now let's see if... I'll start with the red. Ooh, okay. That's actually really pretty. I'm gonna do wet on dry first, so. Oh, that's beautiful. Should I zoom in? I might need to zoom in for you all to actually be able to see this. So this is, I hope I'm saying this correctly, quinacridone rose. And the guide I kept finding recommended in watercolor communities was, most palettes tend to be split into warm and cold primaries. So the primaries being like red, yellow, blue. But a cold primary is typically closer to what you would use for printing. So magenta, yellow, and cyan. Now's the real test. Can I actually clean this without, oh, I probably shouldn't be using my fingers. Probably should not be using my fingers for that. Also, wow, I'm already going through quite a bit of water. The other reason I really want to get into watercolor, and I at least hope, it's a paint medium I like. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that. That's so pretty. Look at that. Oh, it's so sunny. This is Hansa Yellow Medium. Sorry, I got completely sidetracked by how pretty that is. Wow. And that's so smooth. I wonder if it's because of how much I had on my brush. But this has a lot more unevenness to it. Maybe I was quick enough with this one. This looks a little more flat. Out of everything I've been curious about, it is the most value for your money, because watercolor lasts forever. And oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Look at that. That is so pretty. Okay, which one? This is phthalo blue. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I'm gonna do little. I'm just doing swatches. I don't need to be, but oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, wow. Oh, this with barely any water, barely any pigment, I guess I should say. That would be great for the shadows of clouds, wouldn't it? Oh, that, if you can see it on the camera, I think you can. Oh, that's so nice. I love it. That's probably my favorite so far. But you can see some of the separation of the color. You can see the granules. Now, I don't know if that's the paint or the paper. Oh, and you can really see it here. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty. I like that a lot. That's my favorite. And then I did also get a green. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. And I got this because supposedly you want paints with only one pigment in it, so you have more control over your color mixing. And this is one of the few greens that has just one thing in it. This is the blue shade of Daniel Smith's phthalo green. That is wild how just that little bit is so pretty to me. Oh, look at that. So that was wet on dry. Now I want to try wet on wet. I'm going to try wetting the paper with the spray bottle and see how it reacts. Might not be the best idea because I do have acrylic on the other side, but no time like the present. Come on. Get the paper wet. But that was one of the things that actually scared me a little bit with watercolor. I was also told it's very slow medium because you gotta let things dry. You gotta let water, so water is not getting into this paper at all. Maybe I made it too wet. Now, I'm gonna try wet on wet and see how well this handles. Since I like the blue so much, I'm gonna do the blue. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, I have too much water. Because I remember from some of the videos I was watching, it's not really sitting on the paper, it's just kind of floating in the water. Oh, and I can feel this paper is buckling. This paper did not want me doing this. Now the next question I have is, because you're supposed to be able to lift paint off while it's wet. Can I do that? Oh! Yeah, that worked. Oh! Ooh! Okay. That's fun. You get some fun texture and effects doing that. Okay. Now, is this still wet enough, the wet on dry, that I can do that? No. It is completely soaked into the paper. Okay. That's good to know. Give me some more toilet paper. I am not using toilet paper, I promise. I'm using paper towels. I am going to put this to the side, let it dry under my fan. I'm going to get out the cotton paper, see how that works. This was 35 bucks by itself, whereas the other book I used just now, it was $30 for a pack of 3. So definitely a big difference in terms of price. Interesting, because I noticed with the other paper when I was doing the wet on dry, it pretty much stayed where I wanted it to go. This though, I think Etcher uses Fabriano paper. I don't know. Someone correct me on that if you know more than I do, which you probably do. This is actually kind of dancing on the page. It's traveling on the page more. So right off the rip, there is definitely a difference in how the paint behaves, at least for the rose. Let's see. This yellow is just so buttery smooth. I like it a lot. Okay, so as long as my brush is wet and the paint's not dry, on this paper, I can come back and soften the edges. Get out of here. What about if I go in here? Ooh, oh, that's such a pretty soft orange. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. I probably should have done this for all 3 colors, but I am not getting this brush white ever again. Because you can see no more colors coming off, but it is permanently blue and green. But that's fine. Used supplies are loved supplies. Okay, that's already a big difference. With the pulp paper, I don't know how well you can see this, but with the pulp paper, the water was pooling on top. And when I was turning the page, it slid down. But with this paper, there's still some pulling on top, but it's not moving. It's staying pretty much where I want it, and I was real close, so it got all the water. So I need to let that soak for a bit. There is a little bit of buckling around here, but I think that'll probably be fixed a little bit. It's handling it a lot better than the other paper was, that's for sure. Like, I'm looking off to the side where the other notebook is drying, and that paper is curling like no tomorrow. This one, I'm sure, is handling it a lot better, and I bet it can handle it even better once I get some clips. I think the difference is definitely more in how it handles than it does in look. At least to my untrained eye. I think they both look good, but this one was definitely a lot easier to paint and manipulate than this one was. Having a lot of fun just mixing the colors. See, this was a point of stress for me with gouache, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was trying to follow tutorials and I was getting upset that I wasn't matching the colors of the tutorials. I don't know. But there's something relaxing about doing this with these paints. Oh, that is such a pretty color. And that's just adding a little more green compared to the yellow. Blue, you were my favorite. These, I think, are my new favorite. Honestly, the purples are surprising me more than anything else. Now we do blue and green. I get the feeling the blue is going to be the stronger color, so I'm probably going to need a lot more green. I can't be afraid to just dip in the wells. Okay, that just looks blue. Well, it's a rich blue. It's a little richer than that. I do gotta admit, so far, big win for the water brush. This is so much less stressful than having to constantly dip into a water jug. So much less stressful. I'm actually enjoying myself. I'm looking at my recording time and I've spent literally just a half hour making colors. But it was fun. This was actually really relaxing and fun. And I didn't even notice the time flying by, which I didn't feel that way with gouache. So this was actually very nice. And these colors, let me move my clip out of the way. I really like these colors. These are so pretty. I do think I am going to want a warm set of primaries just because I did see in some tutorials and YouTube comments that mixing a warm blue with a cold red, I think the specific paint mentioned was French ultramarine or something like that, plus the magenta or rose or whatever you're using, will make a more vibrant purple. That's really the only color I'm not entirely happy with. These are great moody versions. I could see these being some gorgeous shadows on something. But if I want a vibrant pop of purple, I want to try that. And then if that doesn't work, that might be a color that I actually get for myself as an extra tube. Because I want to do some paintings of myself and other purple things. It's one of my favorite colors. But otherwise, I am absolutely in love with this green range. Now I want to do some little foliage exercises. I'm excited. Ow! As I hit my elbow. Is this thick? Oh, you are. Monster clip. Monster clip. Now I want to do a couple of trees, and I do one just in a color that I probably wouldn't normally use for a tree, like a blue. I want to do that and just practice doing thin to thick. Once I feel like I got a bit more of a handle on that, then I can try doing greens, so. Yeah. This is kind of just looking like a blob. Hold on, maybe I can look up a tutorial. Okay, I already see where I went wrong. I left no negative space. Anyway. Absolutely none. Okay, maybe I will see this a little easier if I just go ahead and do greens. It's gonna be a little harder because I've stained this to hell and back, but that's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. And I'm gonna leave the tutorial I'm actually following real quick in the description. Here it is on screen. Oh no, now she's doing the tree trunk and I don't have any brown. Okay, you know what, that's fine. This is gonna be an avant-garde tree because I'm not ready to mix browns yet. So I'm just gonna do, oh, I should have used a smaller brush. This looks terrible. I should have switched to my smaller brush. This kind of looks like broccoli, which I guess are little trees. Okay, and once again, as always, I do my little look at the camera check, or in this case, look at the phone check. I'm being a little too hard on myself. It does look really cute, and it's looking better as it dries. Okay, I need to remember, don't judge any of this until things actually dry. I feel like that one meme, that really old meme with World of Warcraft. More dots, more dots, more dots. Only for me, it's more yellow. Okay, there we go. That's better. Just make your stipples. Make a nice big oval shape, nice and fat. And now it's just yellow, which I guess isn't a bad thing. Some trees do have yellow leaves. Dot, 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 dot. And she's explicitly saying you gotta do this while it's wet. So I gotta move a little faster. It's weird. I have to stop and start, stop and start, stop and start, but... Okay, now I don't have a brown, so I'm going to have to mix my own. I was gonna wait until I was doing skin tones, but I think I'm gonna have to do it now. Okay, so in order to mix brown, I think if I remember correctly, I need to go into red, because that was how you neutralize the colors, from my understanding, was you go into the complementary color, the color opposite of the wheel. Oh, it's working. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is working. That is brown. Very kind of a greenish brown, but brown. Do I need blue? Oh, that just made it green again. Okay, so no, I don't need more blue. I need more red. No, that's perfect. Oh, that's such a nice warm brown. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Probably helps if I put you in middle focus. Oh, that's actually really pretty. I like that. Okay, I need to be using a smaller brush, but I'm not. We're using this brush. Oh my god, I did it! Oh, that's actually really cute! What the heck? I obviously still need some more practice, but look at that, look at that, look at that, look at it! It would look a lot better if I used a smaller brush for the branches, but I didn't feel like swapping to the smaller brush yet, but that's so cute! I can tell this is already feeling more like me, because I just looked at my clock. I've already spent an hour on this. Oh, hello, friend. Sorry. I've already spent like an hour on this, and I had no idea. Time has just flown, and I kind of just enjoyed getting into this. So far, this system is working out. I like this a lot. But now, it's time for the food art portion, and that... Look who's back! Now, if you haven't seen my video where I try alcohol markers for the first time, throughout that video, I was constantly telling myself, man, this feels like it would be easier if I just used paint instead of alcohol markers. And so, we're putting that to the test today. First things first, there's a lot of green still in my yellow. Granted, that might not actually be a bad thing for this lemon. Even though I want to do a more stylized thing, I feel like the green would still cast a bounce light or a shadow on the yellow, and it would be. So let's give that a try, even with the green in it. Because the point of this is, I want to beat my perfectionism. Let your paint be, let your paint be messy. It's okay. So one leaf. Oh, maybe I should have watered this down a little bit more. Oh, that's okay. I can just take from this and just spread this around. have to remember I can do that. With this paper, I can do that. I'm not too worried about staying in the lines for this one. I guess I could try to wet on wet technique here, but I wasn't too worried about it. I do like that I can get pretty dark immediately. Okay, I like that. Now, I'm gonna let that dry. I don't know if it's best form to just focus on a color and let it dry, or focus on all of the thin colors and then let that dry. Oop! There went some books of mine. Because if I remember correctly, when doing the lemon, for the Copic art, you did the darker yellow to line out the shadow before doing more the red. Which is also going to be another interesting test, since watercolors are transparent. I do wonder if I can take just a little bit of the red over this yellow once it's dried and add that warmth to the shadow. So that's going to be fun to explore. I also didn't bother erasing my sketch lines because I mentioned this before in other videos, but I do want to get better at just accepting the lines I make. I also just really like the look of the pencil coming through. It adds a warmth, especially because this one I drew it in a pink, and so I like the pink strokes coming through the pencil, which I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure how the pencil was going to handle all the water on top of it, but it's working really well. I used this, the Uni Emot pencil. And I really like this pink color. I like all the colors. I got the tropical set. Is this a case where you would let it dry? Or would you rather have it... I don't want it to be orange. I don't think. Okay, yeah. Spread it. It's fine. Just work with it. You're fine. You're learning. Don't let this stop you from experimenting. And then I need like a very light layer here. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That is nice and rich. I like that a lot. Because with the Copic markers, you would do the red, then the yellow, then the red, then the yellow again. And that's how you got the rich color. But this already has such a nice color and value. So while that's drying, I can work on the green. If I'm doing thin to thick, the darker green was up here in the first 2/3 of the leaves, with the bottom being the light, if I remember correctly. So I should probably do the bottom parts first. Now at this point, I've talked a lot about art supplies that I have tried, and they have not been cheap, but I haven't had to pay for them out of my own pocket because of this YouTube channel, because of people like you watching my videos. So if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more videos like this where I try new things, please consider joining my Patreon. All paid tiers get access to ad-free videos a day before everyone else. This is looking more like the yellows casting light on the leaf, which isn't necessarily bad, but it wasn't entirely what I was going for, but that's okay. I think I can afford to go a lot darker with the greens, so I'm actually going to just... Okay, yeah. More like that. But I remember... Oh, that helped a lot, just pulling that down a little bit. I really have to take advantage of the fact that I can spread this around when it's still wet. Just again. There's some really pretty gradients happening right now. I do like that. Also, there's more of a shadow over here. That's really pretty. I like that a lot. I think I'm falling in love. This is so nice. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do the hands like I was originally thinking I was going to. This I do have to let dry because I want to try similar to what I did over here, I want to add just a teeny tiny bit of red. But for that one, with this, while it was wet, the red became orange. I want to make sure the green stays green, if it makes sense. Like I want it to look like an overlay. I don't want them to mix to become brown. So I have to actually let that dry. Which means I get to play the waiting game. I do like that naturally there's this vibrant shade of red, because that's something that happens. So typically in nature, when light meets shadow, there's a really colorful band of light. And it's really hard, for me at least so far, to achieve that with my markers. But with this, it was just kind of effortless. And that's really what I'm liking so far about this. It feels effortless, even though I know I'm currently trash. Because I'm brand new to this and this is my first watercolor painting. I'm well aware I'm trash. But all of the blending together just feels joyful, for lack of a better way to put it. It's even this little splatter right here, it looks pretty. I'm actually a little upset with myself that I've waited so long to try a watercolor, because I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. Oh, that's too much. Oh no, that's too much, that's too much. I can save it though, because I can do this. Aha. So I think I need to go in there with the darker. But what about, is this dry? It's dry. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Because now I can just come in with a very, very light wash of red. It hasn't fully dried yet, but look at that, that's so cute! That's so cute! I could probably do another layer of red on this leaf just because I forgot the one lesson I wanted to take away from doing the alcohol markers, which was have the color you want to show more last. So I do need another layer of red on top of here so that it shows through kind of like it is over here. They're both good. I think they're both very cute, very pretty. I like how I drew this one a little bit better. But otherwise, that was so much less effort with the watercolor than it was for the markers. And the color is richer. Yeah, I think I'm sold. I think I'm a watercolor person. So I'll do a final comparison when this is actually dry. But for now, the lemon slice. This blasted lemon slice gave me so much turmoil when I was doing it with alcohol markers. So now let's do it again. This was just so much fun. I've been at this. I have completely lost track of time. And it feels like it barely used anything. Look at that. And now that this is fully dried, oh, this is so cute. I love this. I love how this looks. There's obviously a ton I still need to practice, but even the tree. the little trees, now that they've dried, these were actually two different little techniques and they both look really cool. Well, obviously, except for the little, if I hadn't have done the small green limbs out of desperation, this actually would have been a very cute and pretty tree. So I need to remember to not have to do that. I'm really excited by the possibilities unlocked by dipping into watercolor. I have a lot more I still want to do. Like, I've been at this for 3 hours already. I thought I would have enough time to get into painting skin tones. I don't, so I'm going to have to do this another time on my own time. But, I am so happy I finally gave these a try. I'm happy I gave these a try, but I'm also kind of mad at myself for waiting so long. I should have just followed my gut. I should have just followed my curiosity and jumped onto these from the start. But this felt so manageable and so relaxing that I cannot wait to do more. Now, that being said, I've been at this long enough. I need to clean up my space. So thank you all so much for spending your time with me today. And until next time, see you then. Bye-bye.